Okay, so up to now, uh, we have seen like how we can design an inverter, and with respect to an inverter, we have gone through different parameter analysis like critical voltage and different voltage parameter calculations. And also we have seen like how we can calculate the delay in case of digital circuits. If there is a transition is there from low to high, high to low, how we will be calculating the delay of a digital circuit, and along with that how we can go for different power dissipation uh, factors. Like in case of digital circuits, there are two types of power dissipation, static and dynamic. So how these static and dynamic powers are defined and how these affect the performance of the circuit. So we have seen. So next is like we are once we have designed the inverter, we will be designing more circuits similar to the inverter concept that we have studied. So we will be starting with the MOS combination circuits. So basically different logic families are there. Okay. So with respect to different logic families means different combination of different small circuit transistors that results to a logic. So that logic will be defined used to define different gates. Okay, so one of the logics we will be studying is static CMOS design and dynamic CMOS design. In that, in static we will be seeing what is CMOS design, what is received logic. So in all the logic concepts we will be designing the basic gates like inverter, NOR gate and NAND gate. So basically we will be considering the NOR gate and NAND gate because these two are considered to be the universal gates. By using these NOR and NAND gates, we can design all other gates. So our main focus will be to design this uh, NOR and NAND logics only. Okay, so these are different logic families like CMOS and received logic, transmission gate, and pass transistors. These are different logic families. By using these logic families, we will be dealing with the basic logic gates. Okay, so these are coming out to be static uh, CMOS circuits. Similarly, we will be dealing the dynamic CMOS circuits. So this dynamic CMOS circuits we will be dealing in the third unit. Okay, so in the third unit we will start with the dynamic one, and these two parts, transmission gate and pass transistors, will also be uh, dealt in third unit only. Okay, so there is we will be taking some basic introduction of transmission gate, and this pass transistor and transmission gate will be analyzed more in the third unit. Okay, so we will start with the basic implementation of any combination circuits. In that we will taking NOR gate, and we will implement it with respect to NMOS logic, PMOS logic, and then CMOS logics. So that in dynamic logics we will be studying domino logic, Noro logic, and Jeeper logic. So these circuits are having, these logics are having some are having advantage and disadvantage. So we will be seeing in detail like what are the advantage of a particular logic family and how it is uh, affecting the overall performance in terms of delay and power. Okay, so we will start with the combinational logic circuits. So in complementary CMOS logic circuits. So in complementary logic circuits, what we do is we will be having a logic implementation such that we will be having a pull up network and a pull down network. This is pull down network and this is pull up network. Okay, it will be connected to VDD and it will be connected to ground, and some input will be connected here and some input will be connected here, and we will be taking output from here. Okay, so these are inputs. This is the generalized structure of complementary CMOS logic circuits. Okay, so we will be analyzing in detail. So this is just an overview. there are some advantages of implementing this pull-up network and pull-down networks. So this pull-up network, this is called, and this is pull-down network. So this is called pull-down network because pull-down networks are always implemented by using NMOS. Okay. So this once this pull-down network is on, this output is connected to your ground. So output will be going to be ground or going to be downside. Okay, that's why these are called the networks that make your output voltage down. Okay, that's why it is called pull down networks. Similarly, pull up networks. So this pull up network will be combination of PMOS transistors. Okay, so basically this PMOS transistors, once these PMOS transistors are on, at that time this VDD will be connected in whatever connecting mode these PMOS are connected. This will be connecting your output voltage with the VDD. So your output voltage will be switching to VDD, that is higher voltage. So that's why it is called pull up network, because it is pulling your output to the VDD or higher value. Okay. So there are some advantages and disadvantages of this type of networks. So we will see in detail also. Okay, so just to have an overview, just we will compare it. So in this combination, whatever logic we need to implement, we have to implement that logic by using pull down networks and also by using pull up networks. So whatever logics we are going to implement, we will be implementing by both the uh, circuits. So these circuits will be implemented in the form of different transistor combinations. So okay, so this is the structure, like how complementary CMOS logic implementation is there. So we are having pull down network and pull up networks. Okay, so similar, there are some advantages and disadvantages, the same we have studied previously. So the advantage of this combination, that is CMOS, sorry, your complementary CMOS logic circuit implementation. So it will be having like more swing will be there. So we have seen like swing. So what does it mean? So your output will be switching from 0 to the maximum possible, that is VDD. So this is only possible in case of your CMOS logic implementation. Okay, so it will be having very less. So whatever CMOS inverter is having, so all the advantages of CMOS inverter, okay, will be having with the same inverter. Okay, so whatever CMOS inverter logic is there, all the advantages of this will be CMOS logic family circuits also. Okay, the only disadvantage of this circuit is like whatever number of transistors are required to implement this combination. Suppose a logic can be implemented by using n number of transistors. Okay, so this pull down network or pull up network should be implementing, suppose we are implementing a NOR gate. So to implement a NOR gate, this pull down network will be having that combination of transistors, two transistors in the parallel. Okay, this is A and this is B. Okay, and this will be the pull down network. Okay, similarly in the pull up network, what will be there? So if two number of transistors are there to implement the NOR logic, similarly two number of transistors are required to implement the pull up network, and that pull up network will be consisting of the PMOS transistors. Okay, so the disadvantage in this case, so this will be connected and we will be taking output from there, and this is connected to VDD. Okay, so this will be your NOR logic. Okay, so in this case the disadvantage is like a logic can be implemented by n number of transistors. But in case of this complementary CMOS logic, we will be needing n plus n, that is 2n number of transistors are required to implement a particular logic. Okay. That means in case of in terms of area constraints, we can say like this can have a disadvantage over all other circuits. Okay, but all other parameters like noise, margin, okay, and the swing, all these parameters will be better in case of this complementary CMOS logic circuit representation. This is like how switching of voltages takes place. So suppose we are going to pulling down a particular node using NMOS and PMOS switches, then what will be the output voltage? Okay, so suppose if NMOS is considered to be going to switch the output to logic 0, then at that time input should be high. So high is VDD. So and high will be applied to the input, and whatever NMOS transistor is, it will be turned on, and then output voltage will be connected to the ground. So if high, it will be switching to 0. Okay, so it will be switching from VDD to 0 in case of NMOS transistor. Similarly, suppose you instead of NMOS transistor, you are going to use PMOS transistors to switch this output voltage to a 0 logic. Then at that time, this uh, input to the gate terminal of the PMOS will be considered to be 0 because it should be in turned on mode. To make this transistor to turn on, we will be connected to ground. In this combination, this transistor will be turned on. At that time, whatever output was initiated, that is VDD, it will be switching to, it should be switching to 0. Okay, it should be switching to 0, but it will not be switching to 0 because if your output terminal becomes 0, okay, if that terminal becomes 0, then whatever gate to source voltage, because this is your, in case of PMOS transistor, the source voltage is connected to the higher potential. Okay, so if this is ground, then this would be at higher voltage. Okay, then only this PMOS transistor should be turned on. Okay, because VGS, okay, so this is G is 0, so GS will be greater than your threshold voltage of PMOS transistors. Okay, VTP. So a VTP amount of voltage will always be there at this terminal. Okay, to consider it as the higher terminal. To make output to a 0, it will be having a value that is VTP. So VTP will always be there at the output. So once it is switching from VDD to 0, it will only go up to 0 VTP only. It will not be switching to 0. Okay, so there is a limit to PMOS transistors. Okay, so to have a 0 logic at the output, we will be using NMOS as a pull down network. Okay, so that's why this will be having advantage. The NMOS will be used in case of uh, the output to make it to a low logic. Okay, to make as a pull down network, we will be using NMOS transistor, because in pull down network, NMOS will be switching whatever node it is, output node, to a minimum value, that is 0. But in case of PMOS, it will be switching to VTP value, mod of VTP value. So that's why it is not going to be 0. So our swing will be less. So it will be reducing. So this value will be reducing the swing. So we will not be preferring this one. This will be preferred to have a pull down network. Similarly, in case of a pull up network, so this is pull up network. Okay, so suppose we are going to have a pull up network implementation. In that case, how the NMOS and PMOS should be behaving, we will be seeing. So in case of pull up network, at the output terminal, okay, so if this is the pull up network, at that time the output in this case will be, instead of VDD, it will be VDD, whatever VDD it is, minus your threshold voltage. Okay, so threshold voltage will be the difference between the output. Okay, so output is switching from 0 to VDD, higher voltage, then that higher voltage will always be between VDD minus VTN in case of NMOS transistors. But in case of PMOS transistors, if PMOS transistor is used to make the output terminal to a high voltage at that time, because whatever gate voltage is there, we will be requiring is connected to a zero voltage. So at that time, if this is the voltage, then if this is VDD, then VGS value is equals to 0 minus your VDD. So this minus VDD is higher than, or you can say, if minus VT is there, VTP is there, the threshold voltage, then to make this turn on, this your VGS value, mod of VGS value, or you can say VGS value of PMOS should be less than this uh, minus VTP value. Okay. Okay. So this VGS value should be less than VTP to make this transistor on. So if VDD is at the uh, source terminal at that time, it will always be in the turned on mode. So at that time, your output will be equals to VDD. Okay. But in this case, it is not so. In this case, if we are taking the output, the whatever input we are applying, it will be at the output, it will be VDD minus VTS. One threshold voltage difference is required. Okay, so difference should be considered the output. Okay, so in this case, this is not preferred to implement the pull-up network, and this will be preferred to implement the pull-up network. Okay, so one more thing, like we call it like this NMOS is considered to be uh, suitable for a low logic passing a low logic. Similarly, this uh, PMOS is suitable, considered to be suitable for passing a high logic. Okay. One more logic that we will be studying is a ratioed logic family. So in ratioed logic family, in the previous slides we have seen, like, we are going to have a complementary CMOS logic. Then in that case, we require a pull-up network and pull-down network. So pull-up network, pull-down network. Okay. And here we are considering output. So in case of ratioed logic, what we do is, instead of using complete pull-up network, what we do, we implement a load. Yeah, will implement a load. Instead of a complete pull-up network, we only take a single transistor as a load, and here pull-down network is used. Okay. So this implementation was having large number of transistors. Okay, that is 2n transistors are required in case of this implementation. So to reduce the number of transistors, what we are doing is, we are switching from a large number of transistors required to a less number of required transistors. So this implementation of pull-down network will be requiring n number of transistors, and to implement the pull-up network, it will be having a combination of only one transistor. Okay, so this will be having only a single transistor, either NMOS or PMOS, that will be considered a load, like we have studied in the case of inverter. So in case of inverter, we can use either a resistance value, or NMOS or PMOS to implement a load. The same way, we in a combinational circuits also, we can use a single transistor as a load. Okay, so this circuit will be considered as uh, ratioed logic. Okay, so this will be considered as the ratioed logic. So in that case, this load could be either a PMOS, okay, so, or NMOS. But NMOS we will not be implementing, because at the output we need to be switching from output, should be switched from high VDD should be switching from a higher value. So to make this high pass, a high logic to be passed at the output, we will be implementing this at the PMOS only. So NMOS will not be preferred here. Okay. So its opposite we can see, like instead of using just this one, we will be replacing the pull down networks also. So in the pull down network also, we can implement it by using a single transistor. Okay, a single transistor could be used to implement the pull down network, and pull up network will be there by using complete combination of your uh, PMOS. Okay, so here in case of this, it will be a single PMOS. Okay. So if single PMOS or a single NMOS is used as the driver or load transistor, okay, in that case, these circuits are called ratioed logic. Okay, so this ratioed logic we will be studying into the deep, like how its behavior affect the output performance of the circuit. Okay, so this is the complete analysis, like in ratioed logic. Pull down network will be there, a load will be there, and this load will be replaced by a single transistor. Okay, okay, and this combination is called pseudo NMOS logic. Okay, so pseudo NMOS logic, because your logic is implemented by using pull down network, so it is called pseudo NMOS logic. Similarly, we can have pseudo PMOS logic also. So in case of pseudo PMOS logic, pull down network will be there, and NMOS transistor will be considered to be used as the pull down network. Okay, this is pull up network. So this logic is called pseudo PMOS logic. Okay. So in that case, to make this transistor to be on, we will be connecting it to here. Okay, so it will be a pseudo PMOS logic. So with respect to the example, okay, so this is pull down network. So we have just taken some example. We will be replacing this pull down network. So here a single PMOS transistor is used. Okay, and the pull down network is implemented by parallelly connecting four transistors. So these four transistors connected in parallel will be implementing your NOR logic. Okay, so whatever output will be there, your output will be the combination of, like, whatever F output will be there, it will be like A plus B plus C plus D. Okay, this. So a similar logic will be there, and in case of this is NOR logic, and similarly in case of NAND, these four transistors will be connected in series. Okay, four transistors will be connected in series. So A, B, C, this is like A, B, C, and D will be there. So output will be like A dot, B dot, C dot, D. Okay, so this will be your output. So whatever output we will be considering should be the logic with the bar. Okay, or we can see like, if output is there, output bar should be equals to A dot, B dot, C dot, D. Okay. So this will be after switching it to making it to this look like, it will be directly saying like it is a NAND gate. So this is how we can implement different circuits. So here if we want to find out the number of transistors used, so it will be 4 plus 1, that is 5 transistors are required. But if we are going to use complementary CMOS, so if we are going to use the CMOS logic, in that CMOS logic, the lower part should be implemented by 4. Pull down network will be having a 4 transistor, and similarly in the upper part also, it will be having the 4 transistors, the pull up network. So total 8 transistors will be required. So it is having large number of transistors. But in case of this pseudo or ratioed logic, it will be only requiring 5 number of transistors. So there are different advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So another one is like differential cascade voltage switch logic. So it is not in your syllabus. Just you can have like how uh, what is this DC VSL logic is there. So there are different logic that we will be basically focusing on that pseudo and the CMOS logic. So we will see that how the analysis part goes. Okay, so this is okay. Okay, but once we are going to analyze this circuit, so this is just an overview. if we are going to analyze the circuit, so we will be considering a simple depletion load. Okay, so suppose a depletion load is considered, so we are considering a two input NOR gate. Okay, so this will be a two input NOR gate. Okay, having a single transistor at the output, so it is like a um, pseudo NMOS logic. Okay, so this is like a pseudo NMOS logic. So in this case, we will be analyzing like it is implementing an OR gate. So this will be the symbol Z will be output. With respect to that, VA and VB with respect to the input to the voltage combinations, output will voltage will be this one. Okay, so once we are having a 0 0, that is low logic as the input, in that case we can see like once low logic is there, then at that time the output will be high. So this is low and this is low. Okay, so if these two are low, okay, at that time this output will be connected to the VDD. Okay, so because this is a depletion load transistor, so it will be turned on always. Okay, so output will be connected to VDD. So either of these two transistors like A and B, so transistor A is there and this is B, so either of these two is turned on, then your output will be connected to ground. Okay, so at that time, if the second combination is like low is there and B is high, so in that case any one is low and other is high, then this output will be connected to your low logic, so output will be low. Similarly, if these two combinations will be of same type, if any of these two is turned on, the output will be low logic. If suppose both the transistors are turned on, okay, so in the analysis part of inverter, what we were doing is, once we know which transistor is on, with respect to that we were applying the drain current equation. Okay, so whatever current equation it will be, so with respect to drain current, either it is working in linear or it is working in saturation. So with respect to the drain current of the transistor, either it is working linear or saturation, we will be finding the relation. Okay, so in that case the load, whatever load is there, it is in always turned on mode. So working in case of this, like uh, this will be always in turn down mode, and whatever transistor is there, if low inputs are given, it will be working in cutoff. Okay, similarly if uh, one is low, another one is high, so suppose one is low, so this will be always disconnected from the circuit. So the only part will be remaining is a depletion type load along with this transistor as a driver. So it will be a combination, so this complete combination will be similar to an inverter circuit, okay, that we have studied. So whatever analysis to an inverter we can do, the same analysis we can do with this circuit also. Okay, so suppose this is on and this is off next time, then also it will be behaving as a same inverter. The only difference will be when both the transistors are on. Okay, so this will be only the combination of input where we need to analyze the circuit. Okay, so we will see, like in all the cases what we were calculating is, we were calculating the VOH value, same critical voltages we need to find out. So in case of VOH value, so VOH will be used when we are getting the high output. VOH means output high. So output high is when both the inputs are low. When both the inputs are low, that means these are off. So when these are off, so whatever current will be flowing through these transistors will be equals to 0, because these two transistors are on, and that only will be equals to this value. So we will be equating. Okay, so in that case the above transistor will be the low transistor will be working in linear mode. Okay, and that time we will be making it to equals to 0. So with respect to that we will be finding out the VOH value. Okay, so from there we will be finding out the VOH value. So this VOH value will be equals to VDD. Okay, the similar analysis that we have done in the inverter part, and same, suppose we are going to calculate the VOL value. So, okay, so in that case of VOL value, so in the this one, so VOL value will be a low logic. Okay, so VOL value will be a low logic. So low logic are, there are three low logics. Okay, but in these two cases only one transistor will be turned on and other one will be off, so it will be behaving like an inverter, so it will be a logic low value. But in the case of third one, the output will be much lower than even the low value, whatever low value is there. So suppose this is VOL value in this case, so in this case it will be VOL some dash value, so this VOL dash will be even lower than the VOL value also. Okay, so this is the analysis, like if VA is high and this is low, the VOL value will be their output. Okay, in this case, and in this case, in this two third one case, the VOH is applied and VOH is applied, both are high. In this case, VOL dash value will be obtained. Okay, so whatever analysis we will be doing, so we are going to calculate the VOL value. So for the VOL value, the equation in that VOL value was given like it is written. Okay, yes, so this is the equation. So this equation we have already studied in the inverter part, so the similar equation will be used. So the only difference it will be making is like in both the transistors, when transistor A and B are on. Okay, so in the second case, so in the first case, if only A is on at that time. Okay, just see this. So this was the equation. Okay, so in that equation, what will be the parameter that will be varying with respect to different combination of the circuit? So this VT load will be a constant value. Okay, similar to whatever transistor it is at the load. VOH value, whatever input we are applying, it will be constant. It will be a constant. VT zero value. So here these voltage are constant. So the only difference will be this one. So this value, so this V load by K load by K driver. So in that we were having like Kn by uh, whatever K load, like Kp by Kn by Kr we have studied. Okay, so Kr value we have studied in that. So this Kr value is basically the load, the ratio of transconductance parameter of load transistor divided by the driver transistor. Okay, so it is written in terms of load and driver. So this Kr value, so it is equals to Kr value. So this Kr value will be the only parameter that will be affecting our the VOL value. Okay, so we are only analyzing these circuits only in terms of this Kr value. Okay, so in case of first one and first part, the Kr value will be the ratio of your load and driver. Okay, so with respect to that, output will be, because this is connected to your output, so this output terminal. Okay, so this is connected. If this is turned on at that time, if this is turned on, this will be your load driver one, this one is the load one. So with respect to that, it will be the driver with respect to the load ratio. So this transconductance will be given in terms of this WL. Basically we need a WL ratio. So from there we will be getting Kr value is equals to this one. Similarly, in case of second case, we will be having the Kr value is equals to driver divided by load. Okay, so this Kr value is basically the driver transistor divided by the load one. Okay. Kn by Kp. Okay. So in case of inverter, we were having Kn by Kp. Here it will be the driver divided by the load one. So here we write in terms of Kr. Okay. So whatever equation we have derived, it was with respect to 1 upon Kr value. Okay, so in the case of first and second, the KR value will be almost the constant. Okay, so it will be in terms of WL ratio of B and WL ratio of A. So if transistor A and transistor B are same, or you can say identical, then WL ratio of A and B will be same. In that case, your VOL value will be same in case of transistor A, and even in case of transistor B. Okay, so VOL value will be same. But in case of the third case, okay, if both the transistors are turned on, at that time what will be happening, like the current will be flowing from this transistor also, and at that time the current will be flowing from this transistor also. So whatever current flowing through this load transistor will be equals to the current by using this A transistor plus the current through B transistor. Okay, so while doing the analysis of inverter, in all the cases we were basically equating the uh, your ID, that is of load, is equals to ID equals to your driver transistor. We were equating this. Okay, so but in this case, when both the transistors are on, at that time the driver transistor current will be given by the current by transistor A plus the combination of current by the transistor B. Okay, so this will be the equation. So once we will be equating this, okay, so ID load will be equals to ID driver A plus ID driver B. Okay, so after uh, summing out these two currents and equating it to load transistor, the only difference we will be getting is in terms of your KR value. Okay, so similar, if we put the value, in that case, after putting the value and putting the all the values, voltages terms, we will be seeing like the same equation will be followed, okay, for VOL, but the only difference will be in terms of the driver, the KR value. Okay, so in that KR value, so this KR value will be given by the sum of the transconductance parameters of A plus the sum of the transconductance parameters of B transistor. Okay, so it will be basically in terms of W by L ratio. So if the W by L ratio of A and B will be added together, and we will be getting this as the KR value. So this KR value will be replaced, and all other terms will be similar in the both the cases. In the previous one also, this was the VOL value. In this also, the same VOL value will be there, but the difference will be having replacing the another uh, the driver transconductance by adding both the transistor A and B transconductance values. Okay, so once we are increasing this value, okay, if we compare this equation suppose 2, and we are comparing this with respect to this equation 1, so here this value is lower. Okay, so this VOL value will be higher. Okay, but in this case this combination will be value will be high. So if denominator will be high, then it will be lower. So this VOL value in case of A and B is high. Okay, if A is high and B is high, at that time the VOL value will be even lower than the previous one. That's why in the truth table it was written like this was lower. So this is low, but it was written like lower. So it will be lower because the VOL value, once we are calculating, it will be lower because of the sum of the transconductance parameters of transistor A and transconductance parameters of B. Okay, so this is how we go for the analysis part. So in all the combinational circuits, we will be calculating the same critical voltage points. Okay, so these critical voltage points, so VOH value was same like VDD, okay, but the VOL value will be having uh, two values. One is lower VOL like, and another one is VOL dash. Okay, so this is lower. So suppose if any specification is given, and in that specification suppose VOL value is given like you need to have VOL value is equals to 0.2 volt. Suppose 0.2 volt should be there into the specification of an NOR gate. Okay, so what equation we should be using to equate VOL is equals to 0.2 volt? Either one equation or equation 2. Are you getting the question? Actually, suppose specification is given. So any design of a circuit is start with the specification. So once suppose in the specification it is given like VOH value should be equals to 2 volt, okay, and VOL should be equals to 0. This, and VIL value is equals to 1.2, and this is VIL is equals to 0. Suppose 8 volt is there, and VIH value is equals to 1.3 volt. Suppose this is the question. In the question, this is the specification of a NOR gate, and we need to design this NOR gate having this much of specification. Then while designing the NOR gate by using depleted load, what we will be doing is to find out the VOL value. In that VOL value, we know like VOL value having two different equations to design. Okay, so this one is equation 2. This by using equation 2 we can design, and by using equation 1 also we can find out the VOL value. But the VOL value that we will be finding out by using equation 1 will be higher value. Okay, this will be higher value, and this value will be a lower value. Yes, so we should be using that equation of VOL that is having higher value, because once we have because VOL value should be minimum. Okay, so VOL value your will be minimum, but whatever minimum it is there, all other output voltages should be less than this value. Okay, so that's why this VOL uh, is obtained by using this equation is maximum, it is higher value. So once this higher VOL equation can be satisfied, then the lower equation will always be satisfied. So in case of VOL calculation, we will be using this equation, okay, to find out the VOL value. And in this case, either of the transistor A is on or B is on. So either of the transistor A are on or B. That condition we will be considering to find out the VOL value. Okay, are you getting this? So actually, if suppose if we are going to use this equation, in that case you have considered A is on and B is on. Both are on at the same time. Okay, in that case, suppose after equating, you will equate VOL equals to 0.2 volt, and with respect to that you will find some KR value. Okay, so with respect to this, some KR value will be defined, some KR value will be uh, explaining the transistor sizing into the circuit implementation. Okay, so this is giving you the transistor. So this transistor sizing will be given to the circuit, and this circuit will be producing you the VOL value is this one. But if this is the transistor sizing, if that transistor sizing is implemented, and in the case of this equation, the same transistor sizing will be providing you the VOL that will be higher than your 0.2. Suppose it is 0.3 volt. Okay, so suppose this is 0.3 volt, higher than the 0.2 volt. In that case, this is not satisfying our specification. Okay, it is not satisfying our specification. It is not satisfying our specification. That means our design is not correct. So we should be designing in such a way that all the other values, for all other values of the transistor sizing, the specifications should be satisfied. Okay, so we will be taking it because this will give you the worst case like value, worst case value of VOL. Okay, so this once the worst case value is satisfying the 0.2 volt condition, then all other values will be satisfying. Okay, so that's why we will be considering this either second or first condition to find out the VOL value. Okay. So the next points we will see the similar analysis can be done to NOR. If it is NOR gate, similar analysis can be done for NAND gate also. Okay. So with respect to NAND gate, the similar analysis can be done. So once we have gone through the NOR and NAND analysis, we will be switching to the CMOS the CMOS logic implementation also. Okay. So one point I would like to say, suppose whatever circuit we have seen, so it was a NOR gate, but a depletion type MOSFET was there. Okay, so this was a load. So instead of two input, suppose we are having different input, infinite number of input or n number of inputs are there. Okay, in the denominator part. Okay. So this is V1, V2, V3, and it is going up to. So it is not a two input NOR gate. Suppose it is n input NOR gate. Okay. So in that case, if it is having an n input NOR gate, this is your output. Then in this case, what will be the analysis? So suppose in that case, the ID, whatever load current is there. So this load current, this is load and this is driver. So these are driver transistors. So in that case, the load current will be equals to, in this case, if we are going to have analysis, this load current will be equals to the current ID of 1 plus ID of 2 plus up to ID of n. So after putting the value of ID, we can see like in terms of transconductance parameters, we will be seeing like the W by L ratio, we are directly writing the W by L ratio of your this load will be equals to the sum of all the transconductance parameters. So it will be like once we are considering the transconductance parameters, all the terms will be same, only the difference will be with respect to the W by L ratio. So here the equivalent W by L ratio will be given by the summation of K, that is such that how many number of transistors are on out of these n number of transistors, how many numbers of transistors are on, we will be adding the W by L of the on number of transistors. Okay, so this equivalent W by L ratio will be given by the total number of transistors out of n, how many transistors are on at the same time, will be considered as the transconductance value, that is W by L value. Okay, so this is how we should be expanding. So whatever analysis we are doing, so this analysis, if we are this is load and this is driver, so if we are going to implement same into like an inverter, so all the parallelly connected transistors are represented in terms of a single transistor, then this single transistor will be having the W by L ratio, that is equivalent value. So this equivalent will be given by this formula. So we can say like any combinational circuits can be implemented in the form of their equivalent inverter form. Okay, so here this will be your input voltage and here it will be output. So suppose all the inputs are same. Okay, and that time your this circuit will be represented in terms of an inverter, and in that inverter the equivalent W by L ratio value will be equals to this equation. Okay, it will be sum of all the W by L ratio of all the n number of transistors. Okay, so similar way we can analysis their transient analysis also. So in that transient analysis, at the output it will be having the capacitor. Okay, so load capacitor will be connected. So this load capacitor will be having parasitic components. So only it will be connecting to that parasitic components that are connected to this terminal. So this is the drain terminal. So with respect to drain terminal, whatever parasitic capacitances are there, that will be connected, considered to be the component as a load. Okay. So if the large number of transistors are connected, large number of capacitances will be there, so CL value will be high. So if CL is high, in that case the delay will be high. So the delay will be high. So the circuit will be pure slow. Okay. So the output load capacitance should be as minimum as possible. So number of transistors, if we are increasing, the load capacitance will be high. If load capacitance is high, the delay will be high. So your circuit will be having less speed. So the circuit speed will be reduced. So this is how we do the analysis. And in the next class, we will be seeing the CMOS implementation. Okay. If anyone is having any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we will be closing.